Hi everybody, today I'm here with the wonderful Wayne Forrest. He's really quite remarkable and his journey is one that will inspire many people here. So Wayne, if you can tell us a bit about you and your journey and how that's developed you in what you do now.
Thank you, Shona. Hi, everyone. Well, I suppose to go right to the beginning, and I was born out in a little farming community called Porongaho in New Zealand. And so right from the start, I just wanted to live on the farm. You know, I was out on the front of my grandfather's horse right from the age of 3. And so I didn't want to go to school. I just wanted to do farming. And I, in my 20s, had a rugby accident and dislocated my neck, which left me in a wheelchair up until now. And that journey of losing my physical part made me really think about life differently, and it became a learning journey of discovering who I really was. And I went through different stages of that, to the point where I started doing a lot of self-development and came across different teachers and different opportunities to learn from different people, and came across a lady called Mary Morrissey in LA, and really resonated with her, and wanted to know more. So I ended up going to LA and to a 3-day live workshop she did. And I knew I wanted to be a life mastery consultant. So I wanted to begin teaching the stuff that I was learning. And I love it. Absolutely love being able to help people discover that part of themselves, and that creates and live into that person as well, and discover that beautiful journey of life.
Yeah, and it is a wonderful journey. Life itself is a wonderful journey. And as you prove day by day, Wayne, because I see you a lot recently, actually, with Heather and assisting you in your dreams and visions of what you want for yourself in going forward, and reconnecting with you and all that you are, and bringing that into movement back into your physical being, which is just a wonderful process to see that you becoming alive and glowing. And so one thing obviously that's happened is you've never lost your ability to find joy in life, have you? And you're always pushing for more and the good things for yourself. So can you tell us a bit more about that part of you, and then how that comes through in what you teach others as well?
Definitely. I think when I had my accident, I can remember lying in bed, and obviously very scared and very vulnerable in hospital. And I look back now, and I realize I had 2 choices. I could quite easily have put those covers over my head and just let life come to me, or I could jump out and try to create something for some sort of life with what I had. And that set me up by deciding for the second one. And because I did that, of course, I started to create goals, and the first one was obviously to go back to farming because I loved farming. So I knew I had to learn to drive again, and that took me 2 years because at my level, I was quite a high level injury. It took a lot of my ability away. And so it took me 2 years to learn to drive and get strong enough to drive again. And of course, once I did that, that opened up all sorts of things and gave me independence, and I went with it. But funny enough, the other thing that happened was I ended up with this huge fear of what was going to happen because I still felt vulnerable. So I had to actually step into that fear. I was literally having blackouts driving down because I lived in an isolated area, so no cell phones back in those days, and I felt very vulnerable driving down these dirt roads and going out to places. And I can remember blacking out one day or losing my vision while I was driving, and I pulled over, and at that moment I realized that it was something to do with me mentally. I was creating this by feeding that fear of what might go wrong. And so I was having an anxiety attack, pretty much. And so I told myself, stop being silly, breathe. And of course, my vision came back, and that was a kind of a turning point for me that, wow, we have this fear in life. And if we can push through that and keep going and push through that anxiety and whatever that is, there's amazing things on the other side. And because my independence, and then it sort of, the next thing that happened was I ended up getting involved in a charity that did extreme outdoor activities for people with disabilities. So I ended up doing paragliding, whitewater rafting. I can't, with my ability at that stage, I couldn't turn over in water. So there was all these fears that I had to face. And so I had to learn to push through them. And that created a lovely basis to realize that, man, we are powerful. We create all sorts of fear, but if we also are that powerful that we can push through that fear and create this amazing opportunities for ourselves. So that gave me the basis of probably the journey. And I believe everything is for a reason. I've been through every stage that I've gone through in the 20 years or 23 years of my accident. I'm, for a reason to be at this moment right here talking to the lovely Shona. And and that is where I'm at right now, so I can help and serve others so they can bust down their fears, bust through their fears, to create, because we have two energies, Shona, that longing and discontent, that the universe or God or whoever, that higher power is trying to pull us and push us towards our purpose and goal in life. And everyone has that those two energies pulling them. And I believe that our longing that we hear are the voices of all those people that we haven't met yet. waiting for us to touch their life so they can create the next step for them. And I would imagine you've had great longing and even probably a bit of discontent and wanting to create what you're creating online with Heather, and that's all the voices waiting for you to be touched by you, and everyone else who's going to be on this stage or forum that you're creating. So I believe that everything is on purpose, and how we're all connected.
Yeah, that's a very powerful moment, actually, that you've just given everybody there in that statement, because because it's about spirit connection, and an inner knowing of what you are about, regardless of what's going on with you in whatever part of your life, and going forward regardless. And one thing that you certainly have is a way of inspiring many people that will have, because many people lose hope when they've had bad accidents or things like that, and what you give them is inspiration of, oh wow, I can do something. Oh wow, I am still powerful. Oh wow, I can still, change people's lives, and that is a very powerful message, that many don't connect to. So that's the wonderful thing, and the wonderful part of you in your heart, and that courage as well. It's actually been my message for the day, actually, courage, because courage is a divine attribute, and it doesn't mean that you're not afraid. It doesn't mean you don't doubt anything.
Yes.
But what it means is that you acknowledge the fear, respect that you're afraid, but do it anyway.
Yes.
And that's what you're about, isn't it? That's you right through, I feel.
And I've come to the realization, and I've probably had a sense of this earlier on, but especially with the last couple of years in my development, is that I realize now I had to have the level of accident I had to set me on this journey, and it was a high level. I'm a C4-5 quadriplegic, which is I'm a lot better than my level these days, because the power of mind and thought, and I know that I'm even going to get better from this point. But my point is that I had to have that level of accident 23 years ago, or else I would have found a way to be independent enough to create my old life. Because, my old life was my first passion from a 3-year-old. So to create enough momentum for me to be where I am today, I had to have that level of accident. And a lot of people look at me really strangely when I say that, because who would wish that kind of level of accident on yourself? But in an ironic way, I just absolutely love my life now, and I love the journey that I've been on in the last 20 years. And yes, there's been some really down points, and there's been some really hard and mind the language, but shit points where I've really struggled with life. But all those moments have I've learned something from, and it comes back to what you said, that spiritual thing of being pushed and pulled to where we are today. And so every shit moment is because I wasn't quite right. I wasn't on the path that the powers of be, or that power that breathes us all, wanted me to be on. So I had to be pushed a little bit that way, or pulled a little bit this way. So I ended up exactly where I am right now on the screen with you.
Yeah, and it's wonderful to have you here, Wayne. I'm enjoying every moment. Absolutely. And but
so
yes.
Am I, Shona. So am I.
Yeah, wonderful. But yeah, one of the points you made there was all about what I call contraction before expansion. Yeah. And it's like before every moment of great light, there's always a moment of darkness, where it's like as though darkness is put there before any great movement forward to so you connect with the purity of the moment that you're about to go into. Yes. And yeah, that's the point that you made there, and a point that not many people actually connect with, because they're just in the humdrum and they just don't connect with the fact that they can, in that moment of being in the humdrum, see themselves going whoop, and it happens no matter what your circumstance. And that's what you're about, isn't it?
Yeah, and totally. This is a journey. We have this infinite spirit, right? There's a part of us. There's a part of us that breathes us. A part of us that's connected to everybody on this planet, and the planet and the universe. And that is where our true source is. And you can call it whatever you like, but one thing that we can agree on, there's a power that is breathing us and breathing this universe. And that is such a beautiful thing to realize, that it is an infinite spirit. So it goes on forever. And this journey as a human experience is only a little snippet of our true self. So this is only just a little experience, and I think that gives me a lot of understanding and excitement that hey, I'm going to make the most of this life, because it's only just an experience. I go on forever, and the true self of me goes on forever. And I'm going to jump into this and make the most of it and create, because we're here to create as much as possible.
Yeah, that is absolutely true. And and what you prove as well, Ren, is that even if you appear to be trapped or appear to be in any way unable, there's still infinite possibilities.
Yes.
You can do anything still. And there's, yes, we are just a snippet in a moment of time, each and every one of us, and we're infinite, as you say. But what's going to amaze a lot of people is the fact that you're saying it. and I could feel that, you know. You get, and I've said it before, I'm going to say it again, that's the inspiration that you're going to give the world. The fact that, yeah, go.
Oh, sorry, Shannon, but
No,
just
go.
you really hit a point there, because yes, I've got a disability, and I had 23 years of conditioning that I had this disability and this is how it was going to be. And I really, with my learning now, I really understand that yes, miracles happen, and if they can happen for someone else, they can happen for you. So it doesn't matter what disability you have, you can create a different outcome, and a positive outcome, because we only know there's quantum physics, there's so much happening in the world about how we really communicate and how cells regenerate and all those kind of things. So there's so many possibilities out there, even if you have got a disability. Okay, you can't grow a new leg or new arm yet, but when it comes to diseases and injuries like mine, always believe in the magic of miracles. And that's what I would say to people that are recently injured, or even had an old injury or whatever, or have a disease. Believe in miracles, and make an agreement with the power that's breathing you, that is incredible. And remember that you do create. We're here to create as beings. So create an agreement that is more powerful than your circumstances. And it doesn't matter what your circumstances are.
Yeah, absolutely, everybody. This, you know, Wayne's message is a very, very powerful one, that's for sure, without any shadow of a doubt. And it's just a joy to put it out there. But yeah, it's the ability to see beyond what's plonked in front of you or with you. Yeah, it's you know, it's just connecting with your truth and flowing with that regardless.
Yeah. And
because some of us can stand in your power and claim your power no matter what your circumstance. Absolutely. And you know, I'm just because I can just feel actually already the impact that you're having, the flow of the impact that you have. So I'm just going to say to you to just speak right now. What is pressing on your heart? Your real message that's pressing on your heart.
Oh, wow. I do, and that's. I think there's two elements to that, Shona, and one is always be true. You know, just we think too much as human beings. We think far too much, and there's something to do with the way that, you know, ancient brains and you know, we're always looking for fear, and so we're always worried about what might happen, and so we're always looking into the future to see what could go wrong, instead of really just taking a big breath and going, I'm going to take the next step, the next opportunity that comes. And it doesn't matter how scary it is. It's a bit like that movie, The Yes Man. You know, I noticed just recently how much power it gives me when I just say, wow, this is an opportunity. Okay, I'm going to do that. So obviously time constraints. We all have time constraints, and there's only a certain amount that we can create in that time. But it's just going with your instincts and listening to your inner self and that spirit, or that infinite self, or God, or whatever that is for you, and going, wow, my small voice tells me that I need to do this, or I want to create this. We all have dreams and passions, and step into them. They're very scary, but once you step into them and keep stepping into them, you'll be surprised. You'll look back and go, wow, I was way back there once. And great things come from stepping into that fear and not overthinking it, because that when we think about it too much, that's the voice of fear. It's just our voice of fear going, I haven't got the qualifications for that, or I don't have the credentials, or I don't have the money, or whatever it is, you know. That power has our back, and if we step into it and keep stepping into it, yes, there might be a few drops in the momentum or income or whatever, but if we can keep doing that, which is a big thing, even for me, you know, it's really scary to go, oh bugger it, I'm just going to do it, but I feel safe here. I want to be safe. No, I want that dream. No, I want to feel safe. No, I want that dream. And it's a battle going on internally, constantly. But if I can encourage anybody, it is to go for that dream, and you know, step away from that comfort that we so desire as human beings having a spiritual experience. You know, we so want to be comfortable, but then we feel, if we stay in comfort for too long, we have this pull of energy of discontent and longing that goes, come on, you're bored. This is a boring life. I'm unhappy. And because we're stuck in our circumstances. And so there's this battle of energies going inside us all the time. And I think everyone should be able to recognize that and just go, no, I want my dream, because my dream's wrapped around my purpose normally. And keep going, you know, clench the fist and say, no, I'm going to win over being comfortable. I want my dream. I want my dream.
You're just so powerful, Wayne. I just love listening to you. I'm just going to stick you on a stage with a microphone and watch.
Yeah. I love it. And that's my, you know, because I am living my dream. You know, I've got some big dreams, of course, and I'm always trying to create, because that's what we should be doing as human beings. But I am living my dream. I get to speak this stuff, and it's coming from the heart. And I help, as a life coach, I help people create that for themselves. And tell the truth, all I do is help them find the answers for themselves. My strength is that I bridge really well. I can bridge and help people bridge. But the secret is, as a life coach, is let them find their own foundation for their bridge and find their own bridge and create that beautiful dream, because we all are unique and we all have unique talents and we all have a purpose to give the universe that unique talent. Yeah, because we're all beautiful.
Absolutely. I mean, that, oh, you're just so pure and on the button. You know, that's, and, you know, everybody that feels they're incapable of doing something, let Wayne just show you that you can do anything you put your mind to, no matter what. That's what Wayne's all about, and I feel in my bones going to show that in lots and lots of ways going forward. And bring lots of and help lots and lots of people through that. And you know, your heart's just immense, Wayne, and the message of it is immense. It's, you know, well, it's God, it's source, it's, you know, flowing through, and I can just feel the impact it's having already, and everybody it's impacting. Wayne is waiting to hear from you because he can, and he can help you. He knows, and he can. And you can connect with him through our website, it's a toughworldouthere.com, and he will be delighted to hear from you and have a busting diary from you. Because, you know, his message, what he provides is, it's giving inspiration for you to help yourself. It's healing for you, and he's the facilitator of that process. And an amazing one, because he's doing it in his own right. He's also walking the walk, he's talking the talk, and that is his authenticity. That is his heart space, that is who he is. And Wayne, is there anything else that you want to say before we finish?
No, I think we've covered a lot, but thank you, Shona, for those kind words. And yeah, for people who want to get in touch with me, hit me up and we can sort out a strategy session or whatever to help them create that lovely vision, clear vision, and what next step they need to take towards that vision. So if anybody wants help, or you know, even wants speaking engagements or anything like that, I love serving, and it's all about serving. It's about serving you and your dream, yeah, that is my dream. If that makes sense.
It certainly does make sense. You're just you're just a big heart on legs, Wayne. Big heart on legs. Okay. And you'll be standing strong again and telling us all about it.
that's the big dream at the moment, and whatever the universe has for me. And it's interesting going through this process with Heather and yourself, and putting also the dream building process in place as well. It's interesting what patterns we have got at a subconscious level that creates the life that we have right now, and it's busting those old patterns or paradigms that we often are stuck in, and creating that miracle. Like I said before, I do understand that miracles happen, and I can create one too. So that's what I'm about, is creating a miracle for myself and others.
Lovely message and a lovely heart.
Thank you, Shane.
Joy, such a joy, Wayne. Thank you very much for sharing with us.
Thank you.